met Ryan, who made us an extraordinary scallop crudo, and now we're here with Chef Antonia, the goddess of the kitchen. So please refer to her as such when you meet her, which I hope you do, because I know that she's a tremendous talent, and she'll walk us through course number 2. And what are we making, Antonia?
So we're gonna do a nice duck confit salad. It's gonna be with a lot of spring vegetables, some pickled vegetables, just kind of going with this season. We like to stay with this season at Kitchen Collective and kind of play on that as much as we can. So really nice bright green, really nice bright flavors, and then just to match that kind of fatty duck confit. Duck confit we made, basically it's cured duck legs, and then it's cooked in its own fat over a long period of time, so really low and slow, so it becomes really tender, kind of like fall off the bone. We have it here as our end product. You can kind of see. I'm just gonna pour.
You guys, this is classic French.
How
decadence
tender.
Defined.
So bones just come out.
That's
And
exciting.
Wipe my hands.
Sorry, I get unusually excited about classic French cuisine.
Yes, there's something about that makes you want to salivate, and it's
I know, I'm
really
staring
delicious.
at it. And it's like, this is just
Very good.
textbook.
Very good.
And,
So,
yeah,
go on.
sorry, no, you're pairing it with
yeah, some
spring
greens,
you
yeah.
know, to
So-
lighten up.
So yeah, when you have that acidity, it's really nice to balance that kind of fattiness of that, and as well as like some sweetness. And we're gonna make our dressing here in a moment. But just so you can see kind of the vegetables that we have some greens here, some arugula, some sliced apple. We like the combination of apple and duck, as well as some pea shoots, just to go with the season. And that's gonna be our base for our salad. And then we have some other vegetables that are going in there. But we're gonna first make a vinaigrette, and you're gonna help me. So
Excellent, love it.
we have some sherry vinegar, some nice 20-year-old aged sherry vinegar, very good, nice and tart. We have some honey, some whole grain mustard, and some oil, and we're gonna make our dressing out of this.
Cool.
So I have my bowl here. If you wanna grab just about
Absolutely.
a tablespoon with that spoon,
Okay.
and you know, we eyeball.
good, Chef?
We'll do a little bit more
A
than
little
that.
bit more. So this is just your regular whole grain mustard,
Yes,
correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So, 20-year-old aged vinegar, just about a tablespoon or 2 of that.
Oh, it smells
Super good.
fantastic. Good quality ingredients.
Perfect.
Good. Okay.
And then, do you see the salt and pepper right over there?
I
You
do.
grab-
So
let's do
coarse salt,
kosher
we're gonna
salt.
do kosher.
Mhm.
Okay.
And you can do just a
Just
pinch
a
in there.
pinch. Okay.
A little bit more than that. And we're also going to season our greens, and we also have a good bit of salt in the
Okay.
duck, so we just have to, you know, pay attention to where all of our salt's going.
Yes. So the seasoning, you definitely want to control, because
Yeah.
even though it's a salad, you can over season it.
Yes, absolutely. That's perfect.
All right.
And then here's your whisk. You want to whisk that together.
Yes.
Forgot. And then we have some honey, so you can put about a teaspoon of honey in there.
All right. So just a little bit, because it's very sweet.
Yes, and we also have the sweetness of the apple. The pickled veg that we're going to use has a little bit of sweetness, maybe a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Great. So while you whisk, I'll squeeze in some oil. We're just going to emulsify. The
Yep.
mustard helps to emulsify, right?
So it's good to have a sous chef, because somebody
Yeah,
can
right?
help you with the oil part.
It's kind of always having a sous chef here is really great. I mean, when I make dressings, I usually don't have somebody squirting the oil, but it'd be nice, yeah.
If you can, engage somebody. Grab somebody off the street and just say, hey, I'm
Yeah.
cooking. Are you coming?
Exactly.
I think that hands-on interactive cooking is so much part of the process and makes it so much more, you know,
Absolutely.
entertaining and pleasurable. So
We can go just a little bit faster. I agree. I mean, it's nice to, a lot of people love the cooking aspect of getting together and stuff like that. And it makes
Absolutely.
things super fun. And you can see that it's becoming like one homogeneous mixture. And that's
Yes.
just because it's emulsifying together. We're gonna take a spoon here
start to bind.
and take a
Thank
spoon
you.
and just,
I'll just leave it here just in case we
dip
need-
in.
It's
Really
so
good.
delicious.
Tart but sweet,
Very
still kind of
complex.
balanced. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So
We'll
we'll have a
just-
dressing.
We have a dressing, right? We're ready. So I'm going to put on some gloves here.
So is it handy to have gloves in the kitchen?
It is, you know, I mean, you could use just your bare hands, but in a commercial kitchen, you kind of want to use gloves when you're cooking,
Makes
when
sense.
you're using ingredients that aren't cooked, you know. So
Yes, no, actually that's a
this
really
is,
good point.
you know, raw greens and stuff like that
Yep.
is really important.
Yep, that makes
in
a ton of
plating.
sense.
I mean, at home's a little different, you know, we pick and
Yeah,
so I got my gloves on. We're gonna take some of these vegetables. I got some sliced asparagus, springtime.
oh, how pretty.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people use raw asparagus. I know I don't. I typically cook it, but I just learned that that's quite
Yeah,
a
you
good
want to make sure
component.
it's not that really fibrous end of the stalk. It has to be that top part. When
Okay.
it's fibrous, it's kind of hard.
And
So we have
finely
some
shaved.
breakfast
Yeah.
breakfast radish. Yeah, it's a good crunch and just spring flavor.
So you said breakfast radish. That's a variety of radish.
Yeah, it's a variety.
Right.
It's nice. It's spicy. Good flavor. So I'll put that in there.
And mandolin is very handy to have, right? Because I
Yes.
noticed that the texture element is really supported by how thin
Exactly.
you know ingredients are, so nothing is overpowering.
Exactly.
That
Very
just
important.
looks so good.
So we're gonna add the duck. Yeah.
And actually, you can prep it ahead of time, and you can have your duck confit ready to go.
Yeah, this can be, so if you keep it in the oil, it will last in the fridge for a good long time.
How long would you say?
It's, I mean, it depends, I guess. I mean, at home, technically, it should last a couple months in the
Couple
oil.
of months.
Because
Wow.
the oil is protecting it from anything growing. So it kind of helps out in that situation.
It's such a good,
But,
handy thing to have.
yeah.
You can make so many things with it.
And you can also freeze it if you want to, if you don't
Very cool.
find yourself using it that soon, or want to use it, save it
Yeah,
for
yeah.
another.
Well, that makes sense.
So here, I'm gonna grab the salt and you grab me the pepper right
course.
there. Just gonna season once first. And here.
That's really interesting because I thought since we seasoned the salad, we're not going to put it.
I always season my greens first. I find that you have to kind of do both. I like to pour around the edges of the bowl.
Okay.
And basically what that does is help me not like really, arugula is a soft green, so I don't want to like squelch it. I want it to be nice and just like let it fall into the dressing. So I'm not wilting those greens too fast, right? Or bruising them.
Would it work with other greens? I know arugula is a very specific
Yeah.
green. It has texture. It has that little hint of bitterness.
We personally like the combination of arugula with duck, but you can use a lot, anything basically. But I mean, as long as you balance it in your dressing, it doesn't really matter, you know. So if you like a certain green, some people don't like arugula, it's a little bit too spicy for them. If you like a certain one, then you can definitely do it that way.
This dressing is money. Hopefully, you let us post a link.
Absolutely.
Because I want to make it at home. I think it's so complex and it has sweet, sour, the texture from the grains and the mustard. I think the key component is that vinegar. You know, it adds that complexity because it's aged and it has so many different things going on by
Really
itself.
does. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good point. Aging anything makes it really complex in flavor.
Yeah.
So I have a chill plate that I pulled out of the fridge just to keep it nice and cool on cool. I like to do that if I can.
You know, that is such a good tip, putting a plate in the fridge. It's so simple.
It
But,
is.
You know, it's details. They matter.
They do. So usually, naturally, all your like goodies are gonna drop to the bottom of the bowl. So I try to like make sure that each plate gets some of the stuff that I made.
Another nugget of wisdom, when you're plating, get to the bottom. Make sure that you don't leave anything behind that should be in the plate.
So just get some of that thing, some radishes. Make sure we just all get in there. And then, so after that, we're gonna put some pickled carrots and onions. And that's just gonna add another complex flavor.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna switch my glove here. Just have too much stuff going on in that one.
And that color is going to add so much visual interest.
It is.
So, pickling liquid.
So this is just kind of standard. It's going to be rice wine vinegar, water, salt, and sugar, basically. But you can add any flavoring if you want to add like some, chilies or add some spices. Those are fine too. Or use a different vinegar. Those are fine. Just want to make sure it's like a balance of the salt and the sugar, not too much, unless you're looking for a sweeter pickle or what you're looking for.
So you can vary that a bit, but balance is key.
Definitely key. So here we go.
Gorgeous.
There's your salad.
Absolutely gorgeous and healthy.
Very healthy. Good. We got the duck confit, but we have the vegetables in there. So here we go.
Have Antonia be the model. And she did a
Some
tremendous
more?
job, and you guys saw how fast it went. If you have a duck confit, if you have a pickled vegetables, you can put this together in minutes.